Hello and welcome back. Sean here, Margarita here, Mountains Garage. On a gray Wednesday afternoon, the weather is trending toward rain, but it's not too bad outside temperature-wise. And I figured this afternoon, with a little bit of time I have, I could knock out a project. Last January, I believe, I got a new Hillcrest 20-foot 7,000-pound trailer from a friend of mine who had bought it and never registered it. Long story short, we made a deal. I owned it. I was replacing a 18-foot rice trailer that I really liked. It was well used, but that's okay. I bought it from the original owner, but it had been used hard, and I kept it in the same condition, I guess, pretty much the 3 or 4 years I had it. And then I passed it on after I bought this one. So if you follow my channel, I built a 14,000 GVW trailer back in 2007. And it's a great trailer, but unfortunately, almost about 19 years in the future now, it needs deck boards and tires. The tires I put on that trailer, my orange trailer, if you're familiar with the channel, man, they were 10 and 12 years old when they were given to me, and now I ran them another 20. So they're not wore out tread-wise. They're BF Goodrich, white leaded off of four-wheel drive, my buddy's Dodge four-wheel drive. And I can't complain about them, but I have to replace the tires and change the deck boards. But that trailer has massive ramps that I built. They flip up, they got a pin through them, and you can remove them if you need to by pulling the pin. The mistake I made, well, I purposely didn't cut them off. They were probably a foot longer than a normal ramp, but I didn't put a beaver tail on the trailer, so I left the ramps long. And then when I was decking everything else, I put deck boards on the ramps. They're pretty wide, which is awesome for loading. But on the highway, it's a sail, it's a parachute. You're dragging a parachute, so not the greatest for highway driving. So when I got the rice with slide-in ramps, I was pretty happy doing a lot of smaller stuff that doesn't require my big trailer. And that was an 18-foot. I like the length of a 20-foot trailer for most everything. The rice trailer had a full piece of angle iron across the ramp, and it set on the back of the trailer, which had a channel, and I never had a problem with it. They were pretty short ramps. Never desired anything different. Then I get this Hillcrest, and as you're about to see, they make a rear piece that has the brackets for flip-up ramps, and it also has slide-in ramps. So in my mind, I thought someday I could do that, and then as I used the Hillcrest trailer the first couple times, I had a ramp fall out because they just have a little single hook on either side, and it's not the greatest engagement. And you got to watch what you're doing. I don't like that. Of course, I watch what I'm doing, but I don't want my ramps falling off for no reason. So, long story short, which, yeah, here we go. Marketplace, found a set of ramps off a trailer a guy that just bought. The quality is, as I probably going to say in the video, I think I already said it, middle of the road. I shot some video yesterday too, so yeah, they warped a little bit when they welded them. The paint's not good, but they were cheap and they meet the criteria. So let's go look at that and I'll be right back. Sorry about the wind and the chainsaw noises, but it's kind of an overcast day, not bad outside. This is my 20-foot Hillcrest trailer, new to me this year. I was the first to register it, but it's been used a little bit. And the trailer that I built, I had fixed ramps that have a tube that would go through these brackets. The rice trailer didn't have those brackets. It just had pull-out ramps like this did. But when I got this trailer, I realized it had the ability to have the flip-up ramps. The pull-out ramps that this has just has these hooks, and if you're not careful when you're loading something, it'll bounce right out of there and fall on the ground. Happened once already when I was winching. Kind of rocked a little bit and fell on the ground. Not impressed. So most of the time they're okay, but since I had these brackets welded on the back anyway, on my shopping list on Marketplace was a set of ramps that might fit for cheap money. Here's what I found. So once again, sorry about the breeze, it just kicked in again, but a Marketplace find with these medium quality at best ramps. They warped a little bit while they welded them. The paint's not good, but they were cheap. They were off a brand new trailer the guy just bought that day. He listed them. I drove half hour away, picked them up. And they also came with the bars that should hold them up. They have pins already here to do just that. So I measured and ordered 2 3-foot pieces of 1.5" OD 120 wall DOM tubing, 2 3-foot pieces. And now I have to weld a piece of flat bar on this end and drill a hole for a pin or whatever on that end. My only concern is the trailer's sitting empty right now and everything's at a perfect height. When you load the trailer, if it pushes the tongue down, I'll be able to flip the ramps up. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to either pull forward, let the ramps flip up on their own, if you're lucky, or jack the trailer up and then eventually shorten the legs. But right now, again, different brand trailers, etc. They had an 1.5" hole, matches my trailer. And so far, this is about 2 minutes worth of work. Not bad. And there's also a hole here to accept those metal bars. So could we be that lucky that they're even the right length? Well, time will tell. Stay tuned. But so far, this is where we're at. Like it was made for it. Again, with weight, things could change. So I measured and cut 4 inches off the 1.5" 120 wall DOM tubing. So now these are 32 inches. That gives me room to put something flat on this end, shove it through toward the middle, and plenty of room for a clip, a simple clip I'm going to put on the interior bracket so the pin doesn't fall out. Most of me wants to put a nut and a bolt. However, I'm going to keep the the slide-in ramps in the trailer. So when I get somewhere, I have options. But in order, I believe, to use the slide-in ramps, I'm going to have to remove, obviously, the flip-down ramps. So, and then put them back on after I loaded whatever I was loading. So easy removal is the key. And as you saw, currently, at the height it's at, it's a simple matter of just sliding the pin out. Moving them off to the side, do what you got to do, and pop them back on. And they're not heavy, so lining them back up, piece of cake. So I was going to use, just grind the coating off a washer. I couldn't find 2 washes without coating, which I would have preferred, and weld it on the end so it doesn't slip through the hole. And then I was going through my scrap bin, and these are pieces my buddy Tom plasma cut out of a piece of 3/8 steel that I had. I believe he put my name and my initials on it. Yeah, just my initials. And this is the interior piece that dropped out and was saved. And today, it's gonna go on the end. And it's a good use for it. And I'll always know they're mine if I see them on the side of the road or whatever. So I'm gonna just weld it where I can. And then drill a hole in this end. And we'll be good. So I got that figured out. I had to buy the tubing. It didn't look that hard for any 1.5", but again, late night, looking at the Amazon or eBay, it was easy to buy 2 36-inch pieces of tubing, and I got a couple pieces left over for something else, because most of the projects I build are built out of something else that I didn't throw away. For the bars that hold the ramps up, I have these. They're 3-point hitch pins. These are adjustable ones. and total overkill for what, you know, holding the ramp up. I got these for the counterweight I'm going to build, probably next, for the small tractor I just bought. So a trip to the tractor store is probably in order just to buy the non-adjustable ones, because these are the same size hole as already is cut in those bars. Those bars only made one trip from wherever the trailer was built to however the guy bought the ramps from. I don't know how many miles it is, but the steel is so cheap it already egged the hole out. So I don't know how much vibrating or shaking was going on, or what they've used to punch the hole. It's like I say, the quality is not great, but it's just steel. So the hole in the trailer is not this big, so I'll have to probably bore it out. I could use these, but they're just twice the money of the hitch pin with a fixed boss and just one nut. And I'll probably go and get them. I already saw the little pins. This is a Harbor Freight pin kit, and handy when you're making stuff. So now I'm gonna go TIG weld the M's on, drill a couple holes, paint these real quick, and I'll be able to put the ramps on and work on the bars to hold them up. And eventually I'll have to paint the ramps, but you don't want to see that. I've touched up the entire trailer when I got it, and I probably have to do it every year so it just doesn't, you know, turn to nothing. So, all right, I'm gonna do a little welding. I'll be right back. Welcome back. It's the next day. There was some rain yesterday afternoon, which halted my outside work, but I took a few pictures, no videos, of welding on the M's. I drilled a couple holes, painted them up. Would you call it a pin? The ramp pivot? I'm not sure the technical name, but I actually, while I was TIG welding, there was a spot on each M where the plasma cutter started, because this was the inside, and the piece I actually used had my initials on it. It was for a couple of outriggers, or funnels, I guess you'd call it. I put on this snowblower I retrofitted for my big tractor a few years ago. So time flies, 5, 6, 8 years ago. But these were in the junk pile, so I wasn't planning on using them for, I don't know, they're just in the box, but hey, it's ornamental. There's nothing to keep them spinning around, so sometimes it might be a W, sometimes it might be an M, but let's go see if they fit. No reason why they shouldn't. All right, I apologize for the breeze. Again, overcast. It's supposed to rain this afternoon, but I slid this out yesterday, and I haven't moved the ramp of the truck, so in theory, it should go back in. That was too easy. One clip. Now, painting the rod is kind of silly because the ramp's just going to destroy the paint on it, but especially when you slide it back and forth. But that's the life of a trailer. So let's flip it up and see if there's any chance these rods, assuming the flat bar is going to fit. Well, if I want them straight up and down, I can just drill a new hole, or I can use the existing hole that I need to enlarge anyway and shorten up the bar, I think I'd prefer to drill a new hole. Stand them straight up and down, drill a hole. The guy running the chainsaw was just here a minute ago. I saw him on the road yesterday, and asked him to come by, give me an estimate on hauling off some logs I have. So, nice guys. So I'm gonna work on this, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back from Tractor Supply, and I got some supplies. I already had these that I bought at Tractor Supply. They're a Category 1 3-point hitch pin, and they have a lot of thread and 2 nuts. I got these for a different project, so I decided not to steal them. While I was there today, I went ahead and bought a pair of the traditional ones that this end's fixed, and you just have a threaded portion, a nut, and a washer. But while standing there staring at the array of the display, they have these 5/8 pins. They got 2 nuts, so they're adjustable for, you know, how far they're going to stick out of the trailer. And the hole in my trailer that's already powder coated is 5/8. So if I use a 5/8 pin, I got to drill a hole anyway. That's fine. So, interesting factoid. Which one do you think costs more when you add in the pin? The answer is the small one. It's $1.50 more, because they get that much more for the 1/4-inch pin, where the much larger pin is cheaper. I was able to buy 6 of these hitch pins for the price of 2 of these small ones, but in the end, it's easier for me. I don't have to bore my trailer and repaint it in the hot sun. Now the sun's came out and it's gonna rain soon, so all my work's gonna be on the drill press. So I hung this on the pin that's already on the ramp. There's a 3/4 pin on the ramp. And I hung that, and I marked where I need to drill a 5/8 hole. And then I looked at the quality of lack thereof of this mass-produced strut. It's a punched hole, so it's flared out on the bottom. They never ground it or anything, no big deal. They cut it with some kind of chomper, and it's all twisted and kind of rough. And it's a 7/8 hole. The pin's only 3/4. So it's already a rattling mess, so why not drill a 3/4 hole here, cut it off, drill a 3/4 hole, then I'll go out and remeasure, drill a new 5/8 hole, cut off this end, and it'll start tight. It's gonna loosen up over the miles, but at least today I'm not starting with a couple rattly ramps. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll see how it came out. So I'm at that point in the project where I probably should have stopped and had lunch, because I'm kind of hungry, but must press on. This is probably the part of the project where you're most likely to get hurt, because you're not concentrating, because you're thirsty and hungry. But one of the hardest part of the job was to get the sticker off the pin. Okay. I want to end up with the pin going down through, so we'll kind of steer it in that direction. Now I've touched the paint up, kind of silly because it's still wet, but in theory ought to fit, which it does. 1, 2. Now I just got to do the other side. Spoiler alert, I drilled these the same, and I already test fit the other side, and it's too tight because the trailer, or the ramps, no doubt these are slightly different. I should not have assumed that they were. Judging by the quality, I should have known better. It's close, it's tight, you could force it in there, but if you want to get the ramps down on the side of the road, you're gonna need a hammer. So I can see the pins bent up over there, so I'll try to straighten that. I can see now why they had an oversized hole, because it's a low quality trailer these came off, and they were just trying to cheat to make it easy to mass produce. So again, sorry about the breeze and everything, and I'm gonna call it a day because I'm hungry, and try to edit the video and call it done. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.